Earlier this week, I had a dream that Jordan Peterson was guest speaking at my church, and I brought in $3.50 and change to sarcastically pay him in pennies for all the thoughts. You may not know this about me, but I am pro-gun. I think guns should have more rights. We should take women's right to vote and give that to guns instead. If a family of guns wants to open up a hedge fund or a business fracking oil in Saudi Arabia, what gives the government any right to tax their income and give that to poor people who need it? The more guns circulating in our society, the more automatic death machines that can instantly end a human life we have readily available. I don't understand what would go wrong. Unlike you racists, guns don't see color. Except red. Another thing you might not know about me is I'm a musician and audio engineer by trade. I'm a rapper. That song that plays in my credits, that's me. I think I'm an addict, want the world and I'ma have it. I'm so fucking dramatic. Go listen to my album, Be Perfect or Die, by CJ the X, available on all streaming platforms. Some people listen to it. They told me it was good. I think they're lying. I think that I live inside of a sphere constructed by the devil that simulates reality and it follows me around like a hamster wheel. At sunset, I can smell time. If you think about it, your first parasocial relationship was between you and your teddy bear. Think about that. Some people know things about the royal family. Some people know what a soldering iron does. Some people can tell the differences between types of cars. I'm none of those people. The only categories of car that I understand are truck or car and blue car or different color car. But I can school a motherfucker in rap any day. Pick a time or place. This is my field of expertise. Bring it, bitch. You want to talk about how 3 6 Mafia back in 1995 established the modern trap sound, aesthetic, and orchestration, and it's had so much influence that Ariana Grande is using it now? Are we ready to talk about how City of Syrup by Big Mo is better and more relevant than anything in the Ghetto Boys discography? Woo, we starting fights now. Rapper and man Juicy J has the most impressive musical career in the entire industry. In 1995, he was 20-year-olds with 3 6 Mafia rapping about drugs, bitches, and killing people. Fast forward nearly 3 decades, Juicy J is rapping over trap beats about drugs, bitches, and killing people. He cannot be stopped. He knows what he wants and he is achieving his dreams. He's survived a constantly evolving hip-hop landscape, stuck to his guns, and that shit paid off. He never compromised his firm beliefs in the value of doing drugs with hoes in the club.
You say no to drugs, Juicy JK. You say no to drugs, Juicy JK.
Atrocity Exhibition is 1,000,000 times better than Requiem for a Dream. Dipset in the 2000s is the only rap group to ever come anywhere close to the energy and synergy of Wu-Tang in the 90s until, and I say this with my whole chest, 2017 Brockhampton Saturation Trilogy. Chance the Rapper's The Big Day wasn't as bad as everyone said it was, and the opening track is incredible. Kool G Rap's 456 is equal to, if not better than Illmatic, and Black Thought bar for bar is the greatest MC of all time, no cap. Woo! I could do this all day. So if I tell you that the RZA of the Wu-Tang Clan is a genius, you have good reason to believe me. Part 1, a brief history of the RZA. Wu-Tang Clan is a hip-hop giant whose prowess and virtuosity cannot be overstated. Robert Fitzgerald Diggs, professionally known as the RZA, was the center of this movement. In addition to being an incredible MC, he also masterminded their branding and business strategy, and he produced every single track off of every album in the first wave of Wu-Tang and most of them in the second wave. The waves of Wu-Tang releases were calculated. They'd be punctuated by a collective Wu-Tang Clan album, and then accentuated by various solo projects by individual members highlighting their strengths and personas. The Wu-Tang cinematic universe. The current state of Marvel is genuinely the best way to understand how Wu-Tang works if you don't already know. And the RZA is Nick fucking Fury. He's a master at fusing cultures and crafting beautiful tapestries out of them. Watch the Kung Fu film breakdown that he did for Vanity Fair. I got chills multiple times watching that video. He's so knowledgeable and competent at weaving together narratives, and he knows so much about that film industry. It's extremely authentic, and when he says things, you're like, of course, everything is everything. Motherfucker scored Kill Bill. He's a genius.
I was interested in doing scores. That's something I've been trying to get into for 3 years.
RZA, he's just there, man. He gets it. He's seen every movie I've seen.
You know me as Princess of Galaxy Brain Takes, and I do not so humbly accept that tiara, thank you very much. But if you want a real Galaxy Brain Take, go check out the Afro Samurai behind the scenes footage where the creators explain how the RZA created a representation of their revenge story in musical form.
I had a couple of different ideas for the music based on the story, being that it was a revenge story between, to me, 3 different cultures almost.
One moment he just stood up and said, I got it.
Afro Samurai's father, to me, represented like the older school, maybe soul culture. The villain Justice, to me, had like the hard rock culture maybe, you know what I mean? Gunslinger, Western.
Rock kills soul. soul grows up over time, incorporates pieces of itself and of rock, and becomes hip-hop.
Hip-hop, which is really a combination of rock, soul, all music kind of combined together.
What the fuck? That's dope. So this man in 2012 gets a phone call from Guitar Center and they're like, hey man, we got a paid promo we'd like you to be a part of. The new BKE beat thing, it's a piece of portable production hardware and we're trying to sell it. It'll be mad simple. Just come into the studio, you can promote your new headphone line, punch out a quick beat on the beat thing, take the check and dip. There is no reason that RZA should doubt his ability to execute this task. His illustrious career and virtuosity developed over many, many years should give him full confidence anytime he sits down to create music. But no matter how good you are, no matter how genius, no matter how much practice and perfection undergone over decades, out of a million hits, you're gonna miss one. Part 2, a series of unfortunate events. The first word that you write doesn't mean anything. It's not the beginning of the articulation of your soul. It's not the foundation upon which all else will stand. Time isn't real and the backspace key exists. Whoever said there's nothing more intimidating than a blank page was a coward and they deserved their writer's block. Inspiration comes after you make something. You have to spew nonsense stemming from the unconscious and the unimagined before refinement and coherence can kick in. So judge not a vexing beginning. If Roddy Ricch's The Box taught us anything, it's that you can make fire out of the most unseemly of sources.
What is that?
As the beat dropped and it like his flow came in and the EU blended in was perfect, I was like, okay, cool. Props.
That being said, RZA's Guitar Center beat has a dubious conception. The first thing that we hear is that dingy fucking metronome.
You hear that? So that's the tempo, right?
When you're laying down a beat, it's good to put on the metronome so that you play in time. That's fine, but in this train wreck mosaic, the monotonous beepy chirp has the unfortunate effect of appearing as part of the beat for most of this video.
Track 3. Track 3 is empty. Come back up.
The first musical decision of the beat is to lay down some extremely boomy acoustic-ass tom drums, followed by a dying animal of a crash cymbal that is begging to be killed. Let's talk about quantization. Quantizing is when you play a rhythm and you fuck it up because you're bad at music, and then you click a button on the computer that snaps everything in place with the metronome. It takes your wrong performance and it makes it mathematically right. RZA explains this process in this very video.
The good thing about this machine, you could put the quantize to 8 and just make it go tighter. See everyone tighter? Got it?
But quantizing didn't always exist, and computers aren't necessarily attuned to the ceaseless, inexhaustible variety contained in the concept of groove. Choosing not to quantize your production when making beats can yield interesting results. Famously, UK artist Burial created his masterpiece Untrue in 2007, I think, on a software that lacked any quantized grids, and the effect is the drums being strangely human and scuttly, emphasizing the mood of the piece. I fucking love that album. It speaks to the demons in my mind. It makes me want to prowl the night levitating 1 inch off the ground holding a hand grenade. Makes me want to commit tax fraud and start another cult. Makes me want to fill the entire inside of a grand piano with glitter and then play Tom Waits songs on it. I don't know what that would sound like. Makes me want to union bust all my socks, which I'm sure are trying to unite against me. What was this video about again? There's something about beats. The messiah of unquantized beats is J fucking Dilla. This guy's influence on music cannot be overstated. He has permeated every level of music creation. You cannot find a drummer that isn't working on their 5 and 7 subdivisions to make Dilla beats. People talk about him like he saved the realm from a dark lord.
Oh my God, like how did he do that? It's the equivalent, the shortest version is it's the equivalent of someone solving a 10,000 piece puzzle in record time.
All of this suffice to say, a wonky rhythm does not a whack beat make. RZA then moves to add a kick drum and a snare. A word of advice, if you're making a Dilla-tinged beat, it will help if you put the kick drum at least on 1 at the beginning of the phrase so that our brains can reset and start to recognize the pattern. RZA, ever the innovator, instead pulls up a kick sound that is markedly quieter than the rest of the beat, noodles a little rhythm, and then he doesn't put in the beat. He doesn't loop it, he just moves on. Why did you do that? He then throws a snare down, and I got no complaints about this. It's on the 2 and 4, it's quantized, something to hold on to. It sounds great. The real pain starts when it's time to introduce melodic information to our beat. What noise will be the melody, RZA Reactor, the Abbott, aka Bobby Digital? What sound will you choose? Are you sure? Okay. Then when the ding dong comes in, my brain stops working. You've created a monster! RZA and whoever this wise turtle-looking white dude is are now bobbing their heads to the sound of a clown car riding down a staircase. And in this dark moment, RZA realizes how to save this beat. A modern, trap-influenced hi-hat sound.
Alright, so then you kind of really make it like have that modern sound. I'm just gonna add a little hi-hat. So.
Oh shit, did you hear that?
So.
In your right ear, did you hear that little boom? Without the video acknowledging it, some 808 drums have entered our beautiful disaster. They sound like shit, but let it not distract from the sound of Tinker Tots marching to war.
I'll just probably roll it on there.
You can bear witness to the moment that RZA plays what he thinks is going to be a hi-hat, and instead gets the sound of a freezing child's teeth chattering.
Something like that. All right, that's cool.
It seems his intention was to modernize this beat that he is way too deep into making to back out of now by adding some tight rolls of hi-hats common in the trap sound. Trap beats accomplish this by having the snare and the kick drum interacting in a groovy and conversational way so that the hi-hats are free to slither on in the background and add color to the beat. But in this case, it sounds like someone dropping a handful of dominoes into an empty Pringles can. And yet another ill-advised sound blends into the malaise of the jovial monkey marching band. Before the beat ends, RZA uses some business acumen to bring the pitch full circle. He's bringing back the wham!
Get those horns back in there one more time.
Cool, man.
You see how great it sounds in these headphones?
I love how suddenly and unenthusiastically he shuts the beat down so he can beeline to plugging his headphones. It's so joyless. He's staring at this ugly, deformed child of his and thinking to himself, all right, I think I demonstrated the functionality of this product enough that they're gonna pay me. Now I gotta turn this thing off before it revolts against nature for existing. Just put an end to whatever this is and wax asininely about your headphones and how cool this is.
One pair of headphones, two guys connected.
What's better than this?
Can't beat that.
Daisy chain, right?
Daisy chain. And somebody else could plug into yours.
Yeah.
And this could go on. And so say you ever get into a situation where you hanging with your girl and she's watching something on her iPod or and she's like, honey, check this out. And she got to take the headphones off and put it on your ear. No. Well, mine's, you just plug right into it.
I love it.
One things, Nick.
And that's the video. Then it just ends. Part 3, how the fuck did this happen? There are several prevailing theories. Guitar Center, upon posting this Dadaist masterpiece disguised as a tech demo, immediately faced brutal backlash and mockery and confusion, and the video was taken down quickly. It remains taken down. I'd want it taken down too, if I made it. But I didn't. You can't unsuck a dick and you can't delete memes from the internet. One of the theories about this video is that RZA was fucking with Guitar Center, which would be hilarious. But the more likely truth, I think, is even funnier. RZA wasn't very familiar with this piece of hardware. He didn't care about how this would turn out. He had nothing to prove. He just went there, did the tech demo, went with the first choice and first noise every single time, and then he plugged his headphones and went home, leaving us haunted by the ding-dong.
Alright, so then you kind of really make it.
Once the ding-dong hits, you know we're in a lawless place. This isn't about a tech demo, it's not about art, it's not about music. It's about this production genius and hip-hop legend half-heartedly participating in this stupid promo video, creating distilled garbage, and everyone in the room having to be like, this is going great. I would have killed to be the guy in the editing bay that had to stitch together the different angles from the different cameras and sync it up to a mix of the audio. Someone got paid to do that. They tried to make a corporate product peddle with a celebrity endorsement that Adorno would have stabbed them in the eyes with a rusty screwdriver for making, and they accidentally made comedy genius that, against their wishes, has had more staying power than what they had intended. You crazy sons of bitches. I salute thee. I mailed you a muffin. I'm emailing you a PlayStation Store gift card. I'm screaming inside, And I'm saying gay pride. I'm slipping on a banana peel, but I'm doing a perfect 360 and landing effortlessly on my feet. I'm gaining popularity on the internet and I'm talking about it in therapy. Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers is a seminal piece of art, and if you haven't heard it, you should pull up the lyrics and listen to the album all the way through, reading along so you can tell who's speaking at what time, how dense their lyricism is, and how striking the synergy is. And while I'm assigning homework, here's 3 RZA videos that you have to watch. 1, watch RZA's Kung Fu movie breakdown. It's incredibly fascinating for absolutely anybody. 2, watch the Afro Samurai behind the scenes footage where they explain RZA Galaxy bringing the fuck out of the musical representation of their story. And finally, watch the Guitar Center video, it's amazing! It was re-uploaded by the people, and it will always be re-uploaded by the people. We will not be silenced, this will never die. Also, stream my album and subscribe on Patreon or whatever, I don't care what you do. Leave a comment below to let me know what you want to see me make a video on next. Just kidding, I do what I want. Don't forget to brush your animals and wash your teeth. Don't forget that you're gay, actually. Don't forget about what you did. They won't. If you're in high school, go to bed! I don't care if it's 6 p.m., go to bed. Don't forget that you don't know me. You only know one tiny piece of me that I created on purpose to get money. I know adulation comes from the same breath as abuse. I know I will be flayed and paraded through the streets, and the mouths that once sung my praises will curse my name, and the hands that once applauded will cast stones. I think I'll be fine. B as cameras, and I, Princess Diana. You are both the source of my power and the cause of my inevitable early death. Thank you, and you're welcome.
I think I'm an addict, want the world and I'ma have it.
Part 4, Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. Have you watched this French children's show? If not, it's time to start. Season 1 is primarily a charming, whimsical kids TV show. Then it evolves into a brilliant piece of world building, elaborating on its repetitive conventions to stunning effect. It's a triple S tier anime with extra steps. The joke where he's in love with her when they're in superhero mode but she's not into it, and she's in love with him when they're in pedestrian mode but he's not into it, is grown into a meditation on whether or not it's really love if you only love the idealized, compartmentalized concept of somebody, and the toil that responsibility and duty can have on your social and romantic life, and that taking shortcuts for the most important things in life can lead to disaster. The cheesy cruelty of the antagonistic classmates turns into an interrogation of the protagonist's tendency to stoop to the level of a bully when she deems it justified, engaging in the same selfish, problematic behavior hypocritically, and requiring many solid mentors and friends to course correct her so she can live according to her values. Every side character is given depth. Nobody is undeveloped. The show is an inspiration to writers everywhere. I'm the same size as a peanut. And I'm the same color too. I can barely swim. Do not throw me into water as a joke. The only reason I have mental illness is because they wouldn't let me blow bubbles with my straw into my glass of milk in the Pizza Hut. Unforgiven.
I think I'm an addict, want the world and I'ma have it. I'm so fucking dramatic, got all my bones up in the attic and I dance them all around like a marionette.